We're here with Bill Cariss, President and CEO of Holman Growth Ventures.
This is Amplify, a retail automotive podcast brought to you by Reuters Events and ASOTU. It's time to make the most innovative voices in retail automotive louder.
All right. I love it when we have a guest that I just met. It's one of my favorite things.
This is going to be fun.
Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for giving us some time.
Thank you.
Since I don't know the answer to this, I'm going to ask the question and say, give us a little bit of your background in the industry. Give us the 60-second overview.
Sure. The long elevator.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So started off in the business, in our fleet business. It was called ARI. Started off in the Philly area, and then
Best city in the world. Just got to put that in
the
there.
world. Yep, we come in second a whole lot. We're going to win one sooner or later here.
I know.
So we started there for about a year and a half, and then I was asked to go out to the West Coast, to Southern California and Seattle, business development in fleet management. So that was I kind of cut my teeth in the business, and then after that I was asked to come back to New Jersey, and from there I ended up running our retail group for the better part of 18 years. One of the joys of my life, being able to hang out with the Holman family about 50% of my working hours, and learned a lot about how to go from selling 1,000 vehicles fleet to one at a time, which is a joy. And then from there, we started a ventures group. I had no idea what that was going to be. That was 7 years ago, and here we are today.
All right, so because a ventures group is something that, like, you just don't hear that as like a title of a company, but explain maybe what the ventures group means to the Holman organization and how that operates within the larger ecosystem.
Yeah, great question. So when my boss and good friend Carl Ortel first told me this 7-8 years ago, he said, "Hey, Bill, I want you to do this." He said, "I have no idea what it's going to be called. I'm not sure exactly what you're going to do, clean sheet of paper, but here's what we want you to do. Your goal and your mandate is to make sure that this company remains relevant for generations to come." And I said, "Okay."
Whoa.
Yeah. How do we do that?
No lightweight.
Can he say that to me?
Right? Exactly. He said, "Tell me what your title wants to be. Tell me, I'm going to give you a bunch of number one draft picks from the company. Let's figure this thing out." And that's really how it all started. It was Carl's vision, and then I started running with it. I have to tell you, huge props go out to our friends at Cox Automotive. They had a ventures group there that we learned a lot from them. I mean, we were like their little brothers for the first year. And so they learned a lot from them, and we came out with a mantra in our shop. We said we wanted to know what the smartest minds were thinking and where the smartest money was investing. And so we just started following all that and saying, where should we go? And out of that, we ended up building a couple of platforms. We partnered with a couple of platforms. Our friends at Cox, we partnered with a platform called FlexDrive, which was a subscription business. It went a little different than the way we thought it was going to go.
They always.
The pivot was there. But we went from, we were going to connect millions of consumers, and we ended up connecting tens of thousands or subscribing tens of thousands of fleet vehicles. Sold the business to Lyft, and they're still using it today to onboard drivers. So pretty cool outcome for that one. Unexpected, but cool.
That's why, like, it's just automotive never ceases to amaze me. I'm like, you did what for where, and it's what now? You know.
Now we're doing another thing.
And now we're just doing another thing. So all of that in an effort to, and I love that the heart of it is we want to make sure that our business is viable long into the future. And that means, as we were talking about just before we started recording, is that it's kind of this, where do we fill gaps, right? Where are the gaps in just selling and servicing, like the main business outcomes of what we do as an automotive dealer group? So those are the main. So what gaps are you currently filling or looking to fill to create efficiency and streamline that?
Yeah, great question. So one of the things we really love is the connected car. And some people call it IoT. We like to say IoT because it's not just telematics, but especially when 5G comes around, the IoT connected car platform. So we actually took what we did in fleet. We have about 500,000 connected cars in fleet for some of our major clients there. We said, what if we were to build workflows for our dealership? So not only where is my car, but why is my car in that geofence for 10 hours, wash bay, for 2 days in the reconditioning bays when it should only be there for 1 day? So we took this, as we like to say, the fancy word, like the juxtaposition of time and space, where the vehicle is and why is it there. And then all of a sudden this prints out to our used car manager. Your car's been in reconditioning for 3 days. It's only supposed to be there for 2. Wow.
The truth.
Yes.
Exactly. And then on the customer side, oh my goodness, there's so many really cool things we were able to do there. So think service loaners. The cars are connected. BMW, for instance, if a car goes over 5,000 miles as a service loaner, we lose all our incentives. That's thousands of dollars. So
Sure.
we would put customers out not knowing when they're going to come back. Now what we know is that your car is 100 miles from my shop or my dealership, and I need to get it back, so I'll call you and say, hey, you're in a 3 Series. I'm going to bring a 5 Series out. I'm doing it to save the dealership.
So you actually do it in a way
$5,000.
that seems like you're doing them a favor.
Exactly.
Because you have the information. It's all connected. You'd be like, you
That's
know what?
amazing.
It's your lucky day. And I'm about to save $5,000. Right?
Somebody's lucky day.
Yeah. Right.
That's
Exactly.
amazing. No, because, well, and I love that you saw it as an opportunity to like, wait, okay, now we can take a pain point that could become a pain point of, hey, bring your car back in, and we can actually turn it into surprise and delight.
Oh, it's so
Exactly.
good.
That's exactly the words. I love that. Surprise and
Don't
delight.
you
We
love
say
that?
all the
Yeah.
time. It's more than just customer satisfaction. It's surprising and delighting. You don't get to do that too often, but when you do, it's super cool.
I mean, I
And-
think the companies that do it the most are the ones that win.
They just win.
Legendary hospitality companies, right? It's just an effort in surprise and delight. Kyle and I are reading a book called Unreasonable Hospitality by...
Great book. I just started it.
Well, we're going to try to have Will Gadara at ASOTU so you have to
do
come
it.
see him and meet
Oh,
him.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay, so... And
We're getting started to be here for an app. Everybody else that's coming to the podcast, us and Bill, we're going to hang out.
Love it, man.
And
Love
so
it.
and he says, like, luxury is about how much money you spend, right? But thoughtfulness is what did he say? Oh, luxury is about how much it costs, but legendary is about how thoughtful it was.
Yes.
I haven't gotten to that part in the book, but I can't wait.
It's good. It's toward the end.
Yeah.
He has this
Love
whole
that.
automotive example thing he goes into.
Love
in there.
that.
I love this. We got a little book club going on
Got a
right
little
now.
book club. This is
You're
gonna
like
be
the
great.
4th person in the last 2 months that said you have to read this book. So one of my good friends bought it for me. Just said read it.
He's a really good friend.
That's a great friend. Yeah. So, what are like when you think about the things in our industry right now that we need to be solving for our consumers? What are some of those things that you're like, hey, this isn't out there. It's not being solved for. Maybe it's not even on the radar of anywhere. What are those things that as a venture, like I always think about venture people. It's like we're always just looking over the horizon, hoping someone else is looking there with us, right? What are you hoping someone else is looking over there with you?
Yeah, so I would say there are some real challenges in retail, and we don't have to go through what people think. Would they rather get a tooth pulled or go to a car dealer? All those things that have been around forever. Here's my theory on all that is that because we're such a fragmented industry. I mean, what does Lithia sell? Maybe 2% of the total new vehicles sold. So every dealer wants something different, and so when you look at what's available to us, there's some really good technology partners. But stitching it all together, we're talking about data. So it's not a matter of who owns the data, but how do we use that data to deliver a retailing experience, both online and physical, where the customer just goes, oh my goodness, where has that been? That's what I want. And it's all the little things that happen in the background. It's knowing that you were looking online at a vehicle, and dropping cookies and hashtags on people, and knowing that was you that were looking at a new car and a used car, and now I can interact with you in a way that I serve up what you want. I read your mind. I mean, let's face it, all the modern marketplaces, Amazon, you go on there, it's like, oh, it just reads my mind. This is so easy. We don't have the tools to do that. And I would say that's not this tangible piece to say, well, it should be subscription. People want subscription. No, it's how do you meet that customer where they are at that point. So for us, that whole data middleware piece, we believe is huge. We've invested in one company, a company called Orbi, who's really attacking that in a big way. So how do I know how to more intelligently, in a more modern way, relate to my customer? That's just one piece. That's not like super sexy, like, oh, we've got this, 10 bell, gee whiz. It's just the customer saying,
but here's
this
the
is
thing.
what I'm
What
used to.
happens on the end of a really good experience like that, whether it be digital or physical, is the customer comes away with a feeling. They don't see all of the like tech and connections and APIs and data centricity and all that.
They wouldn't care if they did.
They wouldn't care. But what they get to the end and they go,
That was nice.
right? They just breathe out, and it's like that felt good.
Yep.
My buddy Kevin, Kevin, he's always like he'll show me something new that he's developing, and he's like this is gonna feel so good, to click that or to do that, and it's like
I love that.
If people could just go like this is gonna feel so good on the other end of whatever we're working on as an industry, like if that's the output that our customers get, we're gonna be in a great place.
And the good thing is, we have room to improve. So it's not like we're at this,
There's
level
the winning
of
mentality right there.
Absolutely.
So let's go. We can do that. So yeah, I think that's going to be a big one. And I love what you said about how the customers want to feel it was easy. One of the things I always want to make sure is customers feel special. Like you're special, and because we did this for you, not knowing it was really easy. So we have to create. Coming back to your original question for ventures, we need to use technology to create ways to interact with their customers. They're just special. And people go, oh my goodness, that was amazing. Let's do that again.
I couldn't close that any better myself.
Nope.
Some special surprise and delight. Bill, thank you so much for joining us and
You
joining
guys
us
are a
on
blast.
Amplify.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Amplify podcast, brought to you by Reuters Events and ASOTU. For more engaging episodes like this, subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. You can learn more about our hosts, Paul J. Daly and Cal Mountsier, by visiting ASOTU.com.